Hello there, everybody. Bless your face. We are doing a deck profile. What you're seeing now is deck screen from YuGiOh DuelingNetwork.com. Just DuelingNetwork.com. This is a free website that allows you to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels online. I'm glad that Konami allows this to exist and does not obliterate it. Well then, let's get started here. This is my Umi deck. No shit. So you've seen my seafood deck put up by, I always want to call him Synchro Summoner, but he's not called that anymore. Okay, now let's go through the monsters here. The first monster you're going to see on there, 3 copies, is Spined Gillman. It's a level 3 water sea serpent monster with 1300 attack. Its effect is all fish, sea serpent type, and aqua type monsters you control gain 400 attack. This includes himself because it says all, not all monsters excluding this card. It's all all fish type, sea serpent, and aqua type monsters you control gain 400 attack. That's very useful in this deck. That's why he's ran at 3. Because there's not really that many high beat sticks in this deck. Your next one, there's 2 of, and it is absolutely essential for this deck. It is Mermaid Archer, level 3 water type, 1200 attack, 200 defense. Its effect is, once per turn you can equip 1 level 3 or lower monster you control to this card. If you do, this card gains 800 attack. If this card would be destroyed, you can destroy the equipped monster instead. You can only equip 1 monster at a time to this card. So that goes all the way from a 1200 attack monster to a 2100 attack monster that can't be destroyed. That's just, it's one of the biggest parts of the deck. Okay, the next one is a card that can fit in almost any deck, but it's a level 3 water aqua monster with 300 attack. It's Drill Barnacle. This can fit in almost any deck, but it fits so well here. This card can attack your opponent directly. Each time this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, this card gains 100 attack. Imagine that with attack boosts. This thing can go up to ridiculous levels. Okay, next one. 3 copies. You need 3 copies of this because it becomes so strong. Atlantean Point Man. When you control another aqua, fish, or sea serpent type monster, this card gains 800 attack. That's almost every monster in my whole deck. In like this entire deck, there's like almost all of them are that type. So yeah, he goes from 1400 beat stick level 3 water type monster to 2200, which is even higher if you have Spined Gillman on the field, because then it goes to 26, which is enough to take out a Dark Magician. Let's skip the next 3 on the list, because they should technically be at the end, but I didn't sort them. Okay, level 4 there. Unshaven Angler. When tribute summoning a water monster, you can treat this monster as 2 tributes. That's just in there to summon the higher levels. Mother Grizzly. When this card is sent to the graveyard by battle, you can summon 1 water monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in face-up attack position. So that means you can summon Spined Gillman, Mermaid Archer, Drill Barnacle, Atlantean Point Man, Unshaven Angler, and all the rest of the monsters. It's everything but the high-level monsters can be summoned this way. Next, Geomancer of the Ice Barrier. It's a level 3 water tuner with only 800 attack and 1200 defense. Discard 1 card and declare 1 attribute. This card cannot be selected as an attack target by monsters with that attribute. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. So they're my tuners. And, you know, if you're going up maybe against a Laval deck, you know, you can destroy them. Next, Mermaid Knight. This is one of the main attackers. While Umi is face up on the field, this card can attack twice during the same battle phase. 1500 attack, level 4. So there's 4 level 4 monsters in this deck, just letting you know. They're kind of put in sparingly. Let's go to the higher level monsters. Over there, right next to the 19. Mobius the Frost Monarch. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target 2 spell and trap cards on the field, destroy those targets. It's an Aqua type monster, 2400 attack, level 6. It's a good card, and it really fits in the deck. Divine Dragon Aqua Bizarre. Once per turn, you contribute one face-up water monster you control and select one continuous spell or trap card in your graveyard and return it to the top of your deck. So if Umi is in the graveyard, it can go to the top of your deck if you tribute a water monster. Then finally, Rage of Deep Sea. This card gains 500 attack and defense for every fish, sea serpent, and aqua type monster in your graveyard. So this thing, if you have 5 monsters in the graveyard, it's 2,500. That's actually pretty ridiculous. It's a level 5. Same with Divine Dragon and Aqua Bizarre. And come to think of it, you don't really need Unshaven Angler in this. I just put it in because I need a level 4. I guess you could put in another Mother Grizzly in there, and maybe another Mermaid Knight. Because, you need the level 4, so just put in a level 4 monster. Next, spell cards. Biggest spell card, you're going to see 3 copies of it there. Umi. That is the single most important card of this deck. Increase the attack and defense of all fish, sea serpent, thunder, and aqua type monsters by 200 points. Decrease the attack and defense of all machine and pyro monsters by 200 points. I would use a legendary Ocean, but that makes it very hard to synchro summon and to Ixie summon with this deck. So I'm using Umi. Terraforming. That's very basic. You gotta have that. It just allows you to add 1 field spell card from your deck to your hand. It's like Fusion Sage, but for field spells. Field Barrier. Field cards cannot be destroyed. Also, a new field spell cannot be activated. You can only control 1 face-up Field Barrier. It's a continuous spell card. Next, there's Magic Reflector. Select 1 spell card that remains face-up on your side of the field and put 1 counter on it. If the selected card would be destroyed, the counter is removed instead. This can save your Umi or your Field Barrier. Now into the water cards. 2 copies of Salvage. Add 2 water monsters with an attack of 1,500 or less. I'm so tired. 1,500 or less in your graveyard to your hand. So, basically for getting monsters back into your deck. Moray of Greed. Return water monsters from your hand to your deck and draw 3 cards. That's actually really useful, and I've done this a ton of times when I just had when I had monsters I didn't need in my hand, like maybe I had Drobot, or I just had monsters that I couldn't play to do anything, so. 3 copies of Aquajet. It's not an equip card, just letting you know. Target 1 face-up fish, sea serpent, or aqua type monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack. That's permanent. And it does not stay on the field. It goes to the graveyard. That's a permanent bonus without an equip card. Okay, now this has got to be... I don't put a bunch of copies in here because it clogs up the deck. It's kind of circumstantial, but can completely rape. Target 3 level 3 or lower sea serpent type monsters in your graveyard and special summon all 3 of them. You cannot special summon any other monsters the turn you activate this card. It's called Atlantean Roar's Quick Play Spell Card. Let's count how many fit the bill. 3 copies of Spine Gillman, 2 copies of Mermaid Archer, 3 copies of Atlantean Point Man. Do I have any more? No, but that's incredible. That is brain fart. That's 8 monsters that can be brought back with that. 8 of some of the best monsters in the deck. Finally, 1 copy of Mystical Space Typhoon and 1 copy of Pot of Avarice. Those are pretty self-explanatory. I don't put in Heavy Storm for obvious reasons because of Umi. And because I have Mobius the Frost Monarch, that can take out spell and trap cards too. 2 copies of Tornado Wall. Basically, while Umi remains face-up on the field, I don't take damage. But the card, it's a continuous trap card. And So I take 0 damage from any battles while Umi's on the field, but if Umi is removed from the field, Tornado Wall is destroyed. Okay, now this has got to be like one of the best things here. Goes in match. Each player can only control one attribute of monsters. Send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. It's a continuous trap card, and it can, in some matches, can just completely destroy somebody. Goes in match versus an elemental hero deck, you will destroy. Basic cards now. 2 copies of Sakuretsu Armor, just for monster destroy, which this deck doesn't really have. So if somebody summons like a Blue Eyes and you don't have enough attack to take it out, you can use Sakuretsu Armor. Enchanted Javelin. Yeah, you can use this on one of your own monsters just to increase your life points when you attack. Increase your life points by the attack of one attacking monster. So you can activate when your own monster attacks. You can have some ridiculous level, like maybe you have like 4,000 something with Drill Barnacle from attacking and from different effects. And you're going to get that as life points. 2 copies of Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I think most people know what this does, but basically you can flip it up to negate an attack, and then flip it face down again instead of sending it to the graveyard. So it'll stay on the field, and it's basically like a negate attack. You can't attack when Scrap Iron Scarecrow is on the field, because you can just keep flipping it up and down every attack. Just flip this card, set it back down, flip it, set it back down on every attack. They can't attack you. Finally, 2 copies. This is kind of more themed with the deck. Aqua Mirror Cycle. Target 1 monster, water monster you control, and 2 water monsters in your graveyard. Shuffle the first target into your deck, and if you do, add the second target to your hand. It can actually be pretty useful. Okay, that concludes the main deck. Going down to the extra deck, we have 3 Synchros and 4 different Ixies, which I do choose to run 2 of some of them, as I find them more useful. By level, we have Broniac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, which allows you to basically discard cards to the graveyard and return cards on the field to the controller's hand. So that's also another way of getting high-level monsters off the field, your opponent's field, so that you can attack. I can't even... Dulorian Tiger, King of the Ice Barrier. And once per turn, you can return any number of face-up cards you control to the owner's hand. For each card returned to the owner's hand, this card gains 500 attack. So that can actually go up to a pretty decent beat stick if you use it right. Genji, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards to the graveyard and target the same number of cards your opponent controls. Destroy them. Yet again, way of getting rid of high-level monsters on the field. Now to our Ixies, we have 2 copies of Leviathan Dragon. If you don't know what number 17 Leviathan Dragon is, you can go poop in a hole. Because it was in like the first or second freaking episode of Zeal. But basically, you can attack. You can detach one Ixie's material from this card, and it gains 500 attack. But it can't attack directly if you don't have any Ixie's materials on it. It's 2 level 3 monsters. That easy. Next, Submersible Carrier Arrow Shark. This is just in here. I don't know why that's in there. I thought I was going to take that out, but just ignore that. It's a pretty crappy effect, actually, considering this deck. Okay. Next, number 32, Shark Drake. Once per turn, when this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, and since it's a graveyard, you can detach 1 Ixie's material from this card. Special summon the destroyed monster to your opponent's side of the field and face-up attack, but it loses 100 attack. If you summon this way, this card can attack once again during the same battle phase. I believe that's 2,800 attack. It's pretty powerful, but you have to use either your Mermaid Knights or your Mother Grizzlies to get it out, because it's 2 level 4 monsters. No, it's 3 level 4 monsters, so it's just in there circumstantially. It's going to be pretty hard to get out. And finally, number 19, Freezer Dawn. There's only there's only 2 level 5s in here, but it's kind of circumstantial. Once per turn, if you would activate the effect of an Xyz monster you control by detaching Xyz materials, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card instead. It's 2 level 5 monsters, so take what you will from the Xyz. You're mainly going to be summoning Leviathan Dragon. I mean, I'd run that at 3, probably. But yeah, thanks for watching this dick profile. It was a little long. Have fun in your face. Bless your face.